The following developments out of London for you this morning, where representatives from the U.S. and China are set to meet today for high-stakes talks amid this ongoing trade dispute between the world's two largest economies. The meeting comes after President Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping held a phone call last week. Speaking on Face the Nation yesterday, White House National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett said the U.S. was close to closing a deal with China. Listen.
President Trump, being a deal maker, talked with President Xi, and he said, let's take, our senior guys, the people who are the same level as you, let's have them meet somewhere, and let's get these things cleared up, and then we'll clear up what you don't like that we've agreed to release on our side, and we're going to shake hands about it. He literally said, I want to meet in London, and I want to shake hands on it so that we know we've got a deal.
For more on these talks today in the UK, let's bring in CBS News foreign correspondent Ramy Inocencio. Ramy there, good morning. What should we expect from today's talks? The administration is bullish, but not sure that China feels the same way.
Yeah, Errol, good morning. A lot of hope is the mood here right now, a lot on the table, too, that they're probably going to be talking about here. We're outside Lancaster House, where the U.S. and China delegations are expected to meet. But top of mind, crippling tariffs against each other, rare earth minerals that China has and that the U.S. needs, and U.S. student visas that Washington says it will revoke from Chinese students linked to the Chinese Communist Party. But with tariffs, both governments right now have rolled back massive levies that they declared back in April. That was then more than 100% each. Now it's a baseline tariff of 10%. That was the biggest win, we could say, from last month when they met in Geneva for the first round of talks. So we'll be watching to see if that stays, if it falls, or potentially if it rises. With rare earths, the U.S. may push for what's being called a green channel, and that would exempt important products from tariffs. The U.S., we know, under pressure because something like 80% of its rare earths do come from China. But on the flip side, China is also under pressure because Washington has made it tougher for Beijing to get semiconductors, the all-important semiconductors which it needs for AI. So all these likely talking points we'll be watching out for.
And Ramy, you and I have spoken so many times about how investors and the markets just don't like the uncertainty that the dispute brings up. Are you seeing any reaction yet just from the news that these talks are happening and the administration wants to make a deal?
Yeah, right now I'm looking at major European markets and they're little change, slightly down, we can say. But to me, this shows that investors are watching. They're waiting to see what, if anything, comes out of these talks, basically sticking to the sidelines. But if there is a breakthrough, and if you've got money in the markets, of course, we might expect some kind of rally, maybe like we saw after Geneva. U.S. markets rallied the most since COVID then, up something like 3 to 4% on the Dow and the S&P, which are just massive, massive moves. So we look ahead to what comes out of these talks during the course of today.
All right, just past midday there in London, Ramy Inocencio with the latest. Thanks, Ramy.